Told you all I'd be back. What's up, guys? I am back for video number 2, doing 3 more trailer reactions in one video. This time it is for the Lucasfilm trailers that have been released at D23. So in this case, we are going to be watching trailers for Andor, Tales of the Jedi, and Mandalorian Season 3. Woohoo! So first up is going to be Andor. So it's kind of surprising to me that they released an official trailer for Andor, because I felt like they've already released a bunch of stuff for Andor. Because they released a trailer during Star Wars Celebration. They released little snippets since then. On Disney Plus Day, they released a special behind the scenes look about Andor, like what it's going to be about. It's going to be about the formation of the rebellion. So I was really kind of surprised when I looked at my subscription stay from YouTube and saw that they had released another trailer for Andor, and they're calling it the official trailer. Especially considering Andor comes out in 3 weeks. So I don't know, maybe it's just me who I think that's a little weird that they're releasing yet another trailer for Andor. That being said, it's not a very long trailer. It's only 1 minute and 30 seconds, which the other trailers are along that same length. So let's go ahead and jump right in and watch the latest, the official trailer for Andor, which is coming this month. It's pretty quickly, actually. I will say this, the one thing I regret, I wish they had announced, was a release date for Bad Batch, because that's kind of up in the air. I've seen some things that said they have pushed the release date of Bad Batch Season 2 back, because Andor was supposed to originally premiere next month, I think. And they brought Andor's release date up to this month. And the new release date for Andor is actually the week before the release date for Bad Batch Season 2. And that was September 28th was Bad Batch Season 2. And now they have now it's weird, because some reports are stating that Bad Batch will still be premiering on September 28th. And other reports are saying it's not, and there hasn't been a new release date announced for it yet. So I really wish that one of the things they announced, maybe they did and I haven't found it, I just haven't been paying attention, but I really wish I knew when Bad Batch Season 2 was coming out, because as much as I know I'm going to like Andor, I really am more excited for Bad Batch Season 2. So I really wish we had more information about Bad Batch. We got more information about Bad Batch Season 2. Maybe I just need to go online and do a little research. So let's watch the trailer for Andor. I also kind of wish they had announced Obi-Wan Season 2, but they didn't, so maybe next year. Okay, here we go. Ah, Magma! Yay! This is cool. Oh, that's whoa. Okay, so my mom was kind of a pacifist. All right then. So not a lot of new information about Andor. I will say that glimpse of Mon Mothma talking about the cost of a rebellion towards the common people is really interesting. But I guess it kind of makes sense. She's more of a pacifist. She wouldn't want to just start an all-out violent rebellion. And then you have Saw Gerrera and, oh my gosh, I can't think of his name, the guy she was talking to, and they're you kind of have to do this because there's no way to force their hand. And it's kind of interesting because I have the book Leia, Princess of Alderaan, and Bail was kind of similar in that he knew you needed to launch attacks in order to really push back the Empire. So it's going to be really interesting to watch Andor to see, because if you watch Star Wars Rebels, you've kind of already seen like the formation of the rebellion. I think this is part of this is set before Rebels, because spoiler, in Rebels in one episode, and I want to say season 2 or 3, the Rebels are assigned to help. No, season 3, the Ghost Squad actually meets Mon Mothma, and it's after she's been like she's resigned from the Senate, and now there's a price on her head for being a rebel. So it's so that's interesting. But we're going to see that. So this is earlier on when she's still active in the Imperial Senate, and where she's trying to do it to help bring down the Empire peacefully. So this will be really kind of interesting to see the dynamic, because we saw some of it in Rogue One, where the more even Saw Gerrera is too rebellious for the rebels, but they still kind of like Saw said, we're gonna call it war because that's what this is, and they're like, maybe we shouldn't. But by the time they get to Rogue One, they really don't have a choice. So I think this is going to be interesting to see even more the formation of the rebellion and how it started. So this is going to be really, well, oddly enough, the rebellion started even before Andor, because if you watch Clone Wars, particularly season 5, when they go to Onderon, you can, Dave Filoni revealed that you can see the beginnings of like the Rebel Alliance symbol, the Rebels of Onderon. And if you watch Bad Batch season 1, there are already pockets of people rebelling against the Empire. There was a really good episode where Bad Batch goes to Ryloth, and we meet a young Hera, and they're already starting the stages of a rebellion on Ryloth in like the first episode. That Bad Batch goes to Onderon to take out Saw Gerrera and his insurgents, and they're already starting to rise against the Empire. And season 2 of Bad Batch hinted even more at looking at the formation. And the beginning of Bad Batch starts with Order 66. So Bad Batch and Rebels and Andor are all going to be like showing the formation of the rebellion, which is really, really interesting to me. I would also kind of like to see a show where they talk about the formation of the Resistance. I know they cover it in the books, but I think it'd be really interesting to see it from a show. So maybe that's something they're going to start doing in Mandalorian and Ahsoka, but I don't really think so. But that would be really, really interesting to see. So moving on from the formation of the rebellion, of the Rebel Alliance, let's go back in time to even before the Clone Wars. So this was a project that was announced, and then they gave a little bit more information at Star Wars Celebration. It's called Tales of the Jedi. You guys, this is something I'm really excited about because it features one of my favorites, Ahsoka! I'm so excited about this show. So it's going to focus on 2 characters, and it looks like it's going to be Dooku and Ahsoka. Let me pull up the information. I got it right here. Okay. So it's going to be an anthology series, and it's featuring different Jedi from the prequel era. And that is what was officially announced. So the premise, and it's supposed to be released on October 26th. Wow, that's really quick. So each episode of Tales of the Jedi tells a short story featuring Jedi from the Star Wars prequel trilogy era. The 6 episodes are split into 2 paths. The first following Ahsoka Tano across various points in her life, and the other depicting a young Count Dooku before his fall to the dark side of the Force. This will be interesting because they released an original audio play, which I have the script of, and I have it on Audible, called Dooku Jedi Lost. And it's Ventress, and Dooku assigns her this mission to find his sister. And in order to help her, he gives her access to these recordings that depict his past. And it basically tells the story of how he was once this talented young Padawan that Yoda took on, and he begins this fall. He slowly becomes arrogant, and then he begins to fall to the dark side. Because when he's a child, he learns he's the son of nobility, and that his father views the Force as something bad, and his father abandoned him. And so and then against Jedi rules, he stays in contact with his sister. So Dooku kind of gets a glimpse and it's a very interesting audio play script to read. So it's very I enjoy it. I think it's really good, and it's all seen through Ventress's point of view. And then when she's watching the recordings or reading the letters or whatever, it flashes back and we see that through Dooku and like other characters' point of views. So it's really interesting. So I'm kind of excited to see this because it looks like it's going to be an older Dooku. I do know that Qui-Gon will be in this, so I'm really excited to see that because Qui-Gon only briefly appears in Dooku Jedi Lost, and in Master and Apprentice, which is set after Dooku leaves the Order. Qui-Gon kind of talks about Dooku with Rael, who was also a student, who was also Dooku's Padawan, and they don't really get into it too much, into what it was like, but it's kind of interesting because in Master and Apprentice, it is hinted that the reason Qui-Gon is kind of very obsessed with prophecies is because of Dooku. So it's very interesting. So casting characters, Liam Neeson is Qui-Gon Jinn! Yay! I'm so excited! I about threw my phone. I will say they released a picture of someone on Instagram posted a shot of image where on the top half of the image it was Liam Neeson and Ewan McGregor as Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan from Phantom Menace. And then it showed them when they were filming Obi-Wan kind of mirroring the same pose, and it was so cool. I loved it. Michelle Richardson as young Qui-Gon Jinn, so we're getting old and young. Janina Gavankar as Pav-T, Ahsoka Tano's mother. Matt Latner as Anakin Skywalker, yay! And Ashley Eckstein as Ahsoka Tano, yay! I'm so excited. Bail Organa, Mace Windu, Count Dooku, Yaddle, and Ponda Baba will appear. It's interesting that they put Count Dooku down there because he's one of the characters we're following. So, very interesting. So, this one is a short trailer. It's 1:45. I'm super excited. So, let's watch the trailer, the official trailer. Like this got a teaser at Star Wars Celebration. So here it is, the official trailer for Dooku Jedi Lost. Tales of the Jedi. Oh, that was Padme. Is that a hint? Hey! Oh my gosh, yes! That was loud. Oh my god, that was great! Look at little Qui-Gon, little Qui-Gon. Oh my god! Holy cow! Oh my god, that was really cool! Oh my god, I want to cry. That looks so amazing. I thought I was the most excited for the season 3 teaser trailer of The Mandalorian, but oh my god, Tales of the Jedi look amazing. Oh my gosh, this is so. It looks like they show Padme's funeral at the start. I'm like, why are they showing Padme's funeral? And now I'm thinking, was Ahsoka there? Like, did she somehow make it to Naboo for the funeral? And then at the very end, like the Inquisitor, I'm like, oh my god, is this going to include like Raida, like Ahsoka getting her white sabers? I mean, and then we see, and then the snippets of Dooku like showing that he didn't just immediately fall to the dark side. He was very much like Anakin, and then like the darkness was always with them, and he just kind of just went with it, and like Oh my gosh, that scene where Qui-Gon tries to stop Dooku and Dooku just like hurls him into a wall. My heart just like, oh my gosh, because when I think of Qui-Gon, I think of this man who is so, he's very much like a way seeker from the High Republic, where he doesn't really he follows the Force. He doesn't follow the rules of the Order. He follows the will of the Force, and he's very much kind of like almost a very peaceful man, like kind of go with the flow. So I can only imagine what, and in Dooku Jedi Lost, they kind of hint at this, that it must have been very hard. Like, Dooku chose Qui-Gon because of how strong Qui-Gon was in the Force, basically. So Qui-Gon would bring him honor. Like, he chose Rael and Qui-Gon based on how strong they were and how much, like, prestige they would bring to him. But it's insane to when, because I know in my head, because I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and I love Qui-Gon, is one of my favorites. So I know that Qui-Gon was the total opposite of Dooku, like in personality, in how they use the Force, how they related to the Force, and how they related to the galaxy. Like, Dooku was power hungry. Dooku wanted power. He wanted control. And Qui-Gon's like the complete opposite. Like, he doesn't really care about power. He just wants to make the galaxy a better place. And so, and Qui-Gon, when I think about him, he's like almost so gentle when he's not fighting. He's like, and in a lot of fan fiction, they say Qui-Gon likes to collect things, and that's like based on that moment in the Phantom Menace, where Obi-Wan's like, "Please tell me we did not pick up another pathetic life thorn." And then you go online and read all this fan fiction, and Qui-Gon's always bringing home like a stray animal. So it did that scene where like those moments of that moment, like I said, of Dooku just throwing Qui-Gon to the side when Qui-Gon tells him to stop. It made my heart like go, just stop itself, because like that right there tells me how different. And then when Dooku says, "This is what you have to do," and he walks away, you just see like this almost hopeless and helpless expression on Qui-Gon's face, that my master is not this Jedi that I thought he would be, that he's not this kind and compassionate person that a Jedi is supposed to be, that in my mind a Jedi is supposed to be. And that just hurts. And I think it also kind of sets up Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon's relationship, because Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan are also opposites. And the best example of that is Master and Apprentice and the book Padawan, which just came out, which is very, very interesting. Padawan was just a fun read, because it definitely hints that the Obi-Wan we see in the prequels, in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, in the books, in Clone Wars, is not the true Obi-Wan Kenobi. In Padawan, in Master and Apprentice, in the prequels, in Clone Wars, in the Obi-Wan series, we kind of get glimpses of the true personality of Obi-Wan Kenobi, of who he might be if he wasn't like so stringent and so obedient to the way of the Jedi, to the rules of the Council. And if he let himself be a little bit more free, I think he would not. I think he's very similar to Anakin and Ahsoka. Like, we see his sassiness, we see his humor and his wit, and we see at moments just how deeply he feels, how attached he can be. But I think that's only really scratching the surface of Obi-Wan Kenobi. I think there is so much more to him that really Padawan especially did a great job of showing, hey, guess what? Obi-Wan is not really this straight-laced Jedi. Deep down, his real personality is almost the total opposite of that. He's actually like more like Anakin or Ahsoka, or even like Qui-Gon, but he feels like he has to be like this perfect thing. Like Jedi Apprentice and Padawan, Obi-Wan is teased and bullied by other Jedi, by other younglings and Padawans, which I think is why he forces himself to be like the perfect Jedi. So I just went off on a tangent on that. So it's really interesting. The shots of Ahsoka, baby Ahsoka on the back of the big kitty cat, that was so cute. Really interesting is seeing the sequence, and they showed this in the teaser, where where Anakin is training Ahsoka by having the clones stun her over and over again until she can block all of it and get out of there. Because in Clone Wars Season 5, during the Wrong Jedi arc, that is what the clones do to Ahsoka when she's trying to escape to prove that she didn't blow up the temple. And that is how she fights them. So Anakin basically taught her how to do that, and she used that training later on. You know, Dave Filoni pointed out that the reason Ahsoka could hold her own against like Inquisitors and Vader, and even later on, Grievous, was because Anakin taught her on purpose how to fight opponents who were bigger than her. And from the looks of it, that training was very, very harsh. But I'm excited to see this. I really am excited to see Ahsoka because I really want to see more of her relationship with Anakin. In fact, I would love them to do a book about Ahsoka and Anakin's relationship because we've had one. Dooku Jedi Lost kind of talks about Dooku and Qui-Gon's relationship. We have Master and Apprentice, which is about Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, and then Brotherhood, which is about Obi-Wan and Anakin. I would love to see a book about Anakin and Ahsoka because their relationship has always been kind of interesting to me. So, final trailer. Let's get done with Tales of the Jedi. And on to the third and final trailer, the one I am pumped about because I think this is what they showed at Star Wars Celebration. They apparently showed a teaser for Mandalorian Season 3, which apparently is coming out in February, which I hope is still true. I hope it's coming out on February 8th because that's my 35th birthday and that would be awesome. But I am so excited. Mandalorian has kind of been like, it's been so good. And they announced Katie Sackhoff appeared at Star Wars Celebration to confirm that she will be in Season 3 of The Mandalorian. So I'm hoping this means we are going to Mandalore and we are finally going to start the fight to free Mandalore and bring Mandalore back to its former glory. So I'm super excited. Also, Grogu, of course, will be back in Mandalorian. And they revealed the new logo for Mandalorian at Star Wars Celebration. It's the same logo as before with the slate trees. Grogu's in it. I'm so excited for The Mandalorian. I will say I'm hoping maybe Din Djarin, Mandalorian, will break away from the Children of the Watch. I'm hoping he will no longer follow their rules that you can't be a Mandalorian if you remove your helmet in front of people. You know, I get that. That's their belief. That's their religion. But at the same time, it's like Cara Dune says Mandalorian isn't a race, it's a creed. But I'm like, but you can still be Mandalorian and not have to wear a helmet 24/7. I mean, Star Wars, I think, has done a great job in showing that there are different variations of Mandalorians. I think there are as many variations of Mandalorian as there are Force users. Because there's the pacifists of New Mandalore, there is Death Watch, there is Children of the Watch, and then there are the ones I'm basically just calling Mandalorians, and they're the ones like both. So, who knows? I'm just going off on a tangent because I'm that weird. So, I'm super excited. I can't wait any longer. Let's watch the trailer for Mandalorian. Teaser trailer for Mandalorian. I saw more Mandalorians. I saw the preview. I saw more Mandalorians. I'm so excited. Let me drop myself down. Okay, here we go. I'm so excited. I feel like I should have my Grogu, but I don't want to make myself look more silly than I already do. So. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh! Oh, my heart is like beating like a million miles a minute. He's still Mandalorian! That was loud. Yeah! my god, I love it. I love it. February, season three, season three. Ah, come on! That's so fair. Oh my god, you guys! That was amazing! Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Did you see it? Did you see? Did you see? Did you see? I think this Bubba Freak! I think Bubba Freak's gonna be in season 3! Oh my god! I'm so excited! Oh my gosh, I'm so excited! I was right, we're going to well, I kind of had a feeling we were going to Mandalore at the end of season 2, but oh my god, we're gonna go to Mandalore! We're gonna see Mandalore! I'm so excited! We haven't seen Mandalore since this is the final season of Clone Wars. I'm so flipping excited, you guys! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! And then it's literally going to be going back to the one thing Sabine wanted to avoid, which is Mandalorians versus Mandalorians, which is kind of how we get the Mandalore in Clone Wars, which is like so sharply divided because Mandalorians fight other Mandalorians because of how their different viewpoints are. But oh my gosh, I'm so excited, you guys! For season 3 of The Mandalorian, I want to cry. I'm so excited for this season. I'm so excited. It's been over a year since we've seen Mandalorian, so I'm so excited. Like, I'm literally like shaking. My legs are jumping back and forth because I am so flipping excited. We can see more Mandalorians. There's going to be more children from the Watch. I think we're going to learn more about Din Djarin's past. I love it when DeBo's like, what, you thought your dad was the only Mandalorian? No, there's more. There's so much more. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited because the one thing I have wanted since seeing Clone Wars, since seeing the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian, since even the Book of Boba Fett, is I want to learn more about Mandalorians. Like, I literally have the Bounty Hunters Codex, and in the very back of the book is an entire guide written for Death Watch about Mandalore. It's Death Watch's point of view, so everything has a slant to it, and it's no longer canon, it's legends, but I love that section of the book because since watching Clone Wars and watching the stuff with Mandalorians and Mandalore, and playing Star Wars The Old Republic, particularly the Bounty Hunter story arc, I want to know more about Mandalore. I want to know more about their culture. I want to know more about their people. I just want to know more. So I was really excited when The Mandalorian came out, and we learned about the Children of the Watch and all that stuff. And oh my gosh, I'm just so excited for this series, for season 3, because I think we're going to learn more about Mandalorian culture and Mandalorian traditions, and maybe they'll bring back in Mandoa, which is the legend of Mandalorians in Legends. And it's actually very interesting because in Legends, adoption is considered a huge part of Mandalorian culture. When you play the bounty hunter, you get adopted by Mandalore themselves. Okay, so quick thing. In Legends, in Mandalorian culture, the leader is called Mandalore. And they differentiated themselves from the Mandalorians who came before them by adding something to their name. So like Shae Vizsla, it becomes Mandalorian after the Zakul Empire kind of takes over, and the Mandalorians find themselves like decimated. Well, not decimated, but they are like overpowered, and the Mandalore who was her Mandalore before her is killed in the fighting. And Shae becomes Mandalorian by almost default, and so she becomes Mandalore the Avenger. So that's how they differentiate between each other. And Revan, one of Revan's friends, is a Mandalorian, and he becomes Mandalore. So that is really fascinating to me, that you become the leader of Mandalore not by birthright, but you have to prove that you can be the leader. And I think that was the big part of the Darksaber. Excuse me. So, like I said, I love the Jedi. I think the Jedi are awesome, but I really, really like the Mandalorians because they are so cool. And like I said, I've been kind of obsessed with their culture and just learning more about them. I say I want to be a Mandalorian Jedi because I think the Mandalorian Jedi are kind of similar. But oh my gosh. And my favorite fan fiction trope is actually Obi-Wan is adopted by Mandalorians. It is so freaking funny. And actually, there is some people that believe Dujan, which is where Obi-Wan is from, and some fan fiction was actually a part of Mandalore. It was a part of the Mandalorian Empire at some point, because the Mandalorian Empire in Legends was huge. It was very big. So, oh my gosh, it looks so good. Andor looks great. I can't wait to see Andor, but I am super excited to see Star Wars Tales of the Jedi in October, and I am beyond excited to see Star Wars The Mandalorian Season 3 when it is released next year. Please, please, please let it be coming out on February 8th, which is my birthday. I'm also hoping very soon that we might get something from Ahsoka. They just announced the other day, well, today or yesterday, that they have officially cast Ezra Bridger in Ahsoka. So, oh my gosh, Hera's gonna be in Ahsoka, Chopper's gonna be in Ahsoka, Sabine's gonna be in Ahsoka, and Ezra's gonna be in Ahsoka. So the only thing we're missing is, who is going to be Grand Admiral Thrawn. So, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I cannot believe this. So I still have one more reaction video to do, you guys. So I'm going to get off. So I'm going to end it here so I can do a reaction for 2 more trailers. So I will talk to you guys in a little bit. And as always, may the force be with you, because this is the way.